What does the future hold for Lovins Realty?
Future for Lovins Realty, I can sum that up in one word, LT.
So I'm back at the office now, and I've got a really busy morning. I've got a lot of things we've got to work on. The first thing is I've got to get the buyer's guide ready. I do all of the changes and updates to our listings in the buyer's guide, so I've got to get that ready for the folks that put the buyer's guide out. And then I've also got to work on a lease for this morning. Got folks coming in around 11 o'clock. It usually takes me probably about 30 to 45 minutes ahead of time to get all of the paperwork together and ready for the people when they come in. So all they have to do is read over everything and let me explain it to them. I do the leases here at Lovins, and so that's a process. We always want them to have plenty of time to read over the lease and ask questions so that they know what they're getting into and what they're signing. And so we've got that going on. And then later today I've got a busy afternoon of taking more photographs for some listings. So I'll talk to you later.
Hey Ross, how do you stay so motivated?
How do I stay so motivated? I think probably the more appropriate question will be is how do I not stay motivated? I mean, look, we've got 8 to 10 families depending on this business to do well and be successful. And being the CEO and co-owner of a business, you've got to stay motivated because you got a lot riding on it. You got a lot of people depending on these doors being open every day. They depend on the materials and the tools they need to have to be able to do their job and do it good and to be able to do a great job. It's just a lot riding on it. I lay in bed at night and I can't sleep being motivated and not worrisome, but in a good way motivated. Thinking about all the great things we've got going on. Again, like I said, 8 to 10 families depend on this business being successful. And when you're the number one person in the business, it's a whole different ball game than if you're like the number 2, number 3, or number 4 person in the business, where if something happens or if something goes wrong, you just always look up to the next person in front of you. It's easy that way. But when you're the number one, the only place you got to look is in the mirror. You have to look at yourself. So I don't have anybody else I can look to. So the buck stops here. I wouldn't have it any other way. I like it. Again, it's not worrisome motivation. It's just motivation to make things happen, motivation to cross the T's, motivation to dot the I's, motivation to completely motivate my team and keep my team motivated, keep you motivated, LT. and it's a great thing. I wouldn't have it any other way. It drives me. It drives me every day. I mean, I bounce out of bed in the mornings, whistling, ready to go to come to work to see what the day holds for us. And at night again, it's hard for me to lay down and go to sleep because I'm just always thinking. My mind's always turning. So motivation with me is not a problem, and I don't foresee it changing either. So.
Was it all in my fantasy? Where are you now? Were you only imaginary?
What does the future hold for Lovins Realty?
Future for Lovins Realty, I can sum that up in one word, LT, expansion. You know, I don't think that it was ever my mother's wishes or goal to expand Lovins Realty to more offices and more locations, but it is mine. I have the desire to see this business grow. I have a desire to see this business be in more locations. I'm not going to say we will never franchise, but we have areas that we know that we're already servicing, and we see a demand for good realtors in that area. Again, not taking away anything from the realtors in that area, but going down there, doing business, working with customers, and just hearing the feedback from them on what a breath of fresh air it's been to work with a realtor who is obviously very passionate about what they do, which sums our team up, you know, completely. I mean, everybody that's here is the exact same way. We're all very purpose-driven. We are all very goal-oriented, and I mean, we're passionate about real estate. When I say we're passionate about real estate, I mean we are passionate about real estate. This is just, we don't do this for fun, and we don't do this because of the money, because I promise you that's not why we do it. We do it because we're passionate about it. We love serving people. We love serving people through our vessel, which is real estate. And it spreads like a wildfire, you know, when we work with customers out of towns and locations. So we've got an area now that it looks like that we are actually going to be able to open our first satellite office, so to speak. It'll be its own entity. We're working the area now, but we don't have an office. We're kind of working from our cars and traveling, but the stars look like they're lining up. We had some obstacles we had to overcome to be able to go to this location and open our first additional store, but it looks like it's happening. I'm very excited. I can't wait for you to find out about it. I can't wait to release it. And trust me, when it happens, you're going to know, because we're gonna tell everybody, and we're gonna go down and try to take that place over by storm. So the only way Lovins Realty can do it. But yeah, so we're super excited about expanding to our first location. Who knows what the future holds? How many more locations will come from that? As long as the demand's there and we can go and use our skills and talents to serve people, we'll go wherever there's a demand and wherever there's a need. We're statewide, baby. Georgia Realtors. We can go anywhere in Georgia and sell and be glad to do so, as long as we feel that we can serve the customer properly by doing that. So LT, you done got me fired up now. So, all right, that's it.